Hello, I'm Lydia Talbot. Welcome to Sanctuary. Today we're in downtown Wheaton, Illinois, the center of DuPage County. With a per capita income of more than $37,000 a year, DuPage County is Illinois' second wealthiest. And yet these figures mask a growing population living at or below the poverty line. In this special edition of Sanctuary, we'll step inside the People's Resource Center, one of the largest food pantries in the suburbs, providing low-income residents with basic human services, caring people of faith, and strong educational programs that create a path to self-sufficiency. Join us for this amazing story of faith, courage, service to others, and the reduction of human suffering that will challenge what you think about your politics and your faith today on Sanctuary. Since 1975, People's Resource Center brings people together to respond to hunger and poverty in DuPage County. With a team of over 2,000 volunteers, People's Resource Center offers nutritious food and other basic necessities, like clothes and rent assistance for people facing tough times. And PRC connects people with resources, education, tutoring, jobs, technology, art, and a caring community to create a future with hope and opportunity for all. Today, People's Resource Center operates centers in both Wheaton and Westmont and serves over 30,000 DuPage County residents each year. The organization's founders began it all by handing groceries out to neighbors in need from a small house in Wheaton.
There was this group, the Religious Education Center, which had started in 1967 with a priest from Maryknoll, Father Tom Payton, and Dorothy McIntyre.
Dorothy McIntyre was a dedicated woman. She was so clear on what she wanted to do, and nothing stood in the way. I mean, she could see the poverty, she could see the problems with the church. She did a tremendous job.
They discovered in the 1960s that there was poverty in DuPage County because up until that time it was hidden. Nobody wanted to admit it. That eventually became the People's Resource Center.
I was in a situation where I needed some help. It was me and my 5 kids, and someone had given me a flyer with the People's Resource Center and all of the services offered. So I reluctantly came through the doors, tail between my legs, feeling like, wow, I guess this is bottom. This is what it feels like. I'm a college-educated woman. I've worked for Fortune 500 companies. I've had really nice jobs. I used to live in a really nice house. It was just really hard, and I knew that I didn't have a choice. I had to survive. When I found People's Resource Center, they offered me a lot of different things that we really needed.
DuPage County has about 1 million residents. 5 to 6% of them live in desperate poverty. We're one of the wealthiest counties in the state, but yet we have 60,000 people that are struggling every day just to put food on their table, to pay the most basic bills, to get their rent paid. Food, clothing, and housing, the most basic things that every person needs to survive. And if you don't have those things taken care of, you really can't get a job, go to school, all the other things that you need to take the next step in your life. The food pantry is the #1 reason why people come to the People's Resource Center the first time. They realize that they don't have enough money to get through the month, and so that this is one way that they can supplement the money that they have by getting about a week's worth of groceries.
My name is Joanne Carr. I go to St. Michael's Church here in Wheaton. Our church is quite involved with People's Resource Center. I work at intake where the clients come in and we register the clients, visit with them a little bit if they need the visiting. Sometimes people are very happy, like I just had a client who's just had a birthday and she was so pleased about it, you know. And other times there's clients who have a sad story. They just lost a job and want to tell you about that experience.
All we ask is that they show that they live in DuPage County. They bring a utility bill or something to that effect. They get escorted back to the food pantry where we have 20 volunteers that are there to help them through the process. We have the food pantry set up as a small grocery store, and the clients get to choose what's appropriate for their family. We limit the quantities because we have to serve 3,000 families every month, but we try to have the basic foods, meat, dairy, canned goods, fresh produce, breads, anything that you might purchase at a grocery store we try to have. They fill up a grocery cart full of groceries. We have volunteers that help them put it in their car in the parking lot, and they go home with about 6 to 7 days worth of groceries, which is a huge help for most struggling families. It's a week's worth of food they don't have to go to the store and purchase. When people come into the People's Resource Center, we want to treat them with dignity and respect. Nobody chooses to go to a food pantry. It's the worst day in their life, the first day they come here, and we try to overwhelm them with kindness and compassion so that they know that this is a place where they can feel comfortable.
It was just so comforting to know that people really cared. And if I had a need, they were going to try to help me find a way to do whatever I needed to do.
The poverty that we have found in DuPage County was always invisible. What I really like about PRC, they don't just hand out food. They empower people to get a job, they empower people to, to become self-sufficient, and that's important.
What we're trying to do in any of our empowerment programs is offer self-sufficiency. So our mission says that we provide hope and opportunity, and I think of the empowerment programs as the opportunity side of that. Basic services have already been stabilized: food, shelter, clothing, and so we're stepping in trying to give important skills that'll allow people to get back on their feet, whether it's to get a job with our job coaching, to get some computer skills so they can even go apply for a job, to express themselves through art or start a micro enterprise in art, or learn to read, finish a GED. You know, all those things are important steps towards self-sufficiency.
The Tuesday conversation class began when Lisa needed some extra tutoring. Then Lisa started bringing in friends of hers. The whole idea is to give people an opportunity to speak in a non-threatening setting.
My name is Lisa Lin. Immigrant here. Language is important for me. Yeah, every day I need language. So I come to PRC to learn English. And I'm so lucky meet a very, very nice teacher. Comfortable. The first one, I comfortable, I can talk. I open the mouth to talk.
I enjoy every minute of every class. I never wake up in the morning and think, oh, I have to go to PRC. It's always, today's a PRC day.
I retired about 3.5 years ago. I wanted to do some kind of volunteer work during my retirement, give it back to the community. And luckily I found PRC. Tutoring math, I really found my passion in that. I'm good in math, and for the last 2.5 years, I'm tutoring math to different students, giving back to the community. And I'm feeling very fulfilled and very accomplished when I come here. Recently, one of my students passed the GED exam. He came and he told me, thanks JP for helping me in math. What I felt inside me is very hard to explain. You feel so fulfilled, and that really motivates me to come here.
Our empowerment programs are located at over 30 community sites. We think it's important to take programming, be it art, computer training, literacy, into the community. It reduces transportation barriers for folks to attend. Sometimes we can locate it in places that folks already trust. And it is really another way that we're serving the whole county. We have over 1,300 volunteers helping us and a lot of wonderful community partners. Our partnerships is why we can have such an impact throughout the county.
Carl Sodergren. I'm a volunteer teacher here at St. Paul Lutheran. Every week this space is used by People's Resource Center. The computers are maintained, supplied by them, maintained by them. The program is administered by them. St. Paul Lutheran provides the space.
Tenemos hoy una clase regular como todos los sábados, tenemos un grupo muy variado de alumnos con diferentes niveles de conocimientos de computación. Acá tratamos de ofrecerles los conocimientos básicos de computación, como son el Internet, cómo crear un correo electrónico, cómo navegar en el Internet, buscar información.
Soy profesor voluntario para clases de matemática, de álgebra y geometría para GED. El programa GED es un equivalente para las personas que no han tenido oportunidad de sacar su diploma de high school. Es un equivalente que dan un diploma, es estudios generales. Porque me gusta compartir mis conocimientos para las demás personas y pues me agrada de que la gente siga adelante. Porque me gusta ayudar a la gente.
Este trabajo realmente es muy estimulante. Es para mí, pienso, más útil inclusive que para ellos mismos, porque a mí me mantiene en una actividad en la que me siento muy útil para la comunidad. Es importante saber que estamos dándole herramientas de trabajos a las personas que quieren tener un mejor nivel de vida y una mejor capacidad de trabajo.
Growing up with the evolution of technology, I saw that this was going to change society in immense ways, and I had the fear that a lot of people would be left out. In the early days, computers were very expensive. They were like $2,000. So how are people, like the people that come in here, going to get computers? And that was a big concern for me, and I didn't know what we could do about it. But Dorothy had asked me to see if I could do some things, and we had a lot of meetings. The interesting thing, she involved people in other agencies like Family Shelter Service and the Metropolitan Family Services in the county, and Bridge Communities was another. We would talk about how technology could play a role.
Este trabajo realmente es muy estimulante. Es para mí, pienso, más útil inclusive que para ellos mismos, porque a mí me mantiene en una actividad en la que me siento muy útil para la comunidad. Es importante saber que estamos dándole herramientas de trabajos a las personas que quieren tener un mejor nivel de vida y una mejor capacidad de trabajo.
We were down to our last can of food in the first month or two. I started working with the PRC, and we were looking around, and there were literally like 1 or 2 cans of food left in the food pantry, and we were having a meeting, our religious education community meeting, and we were like, where are we going to get food? And sure enough, we looked out the door, and one of our proverbs that we always use, which says, we don't expect miracles, we rely on them. And sure enough, some truck pulled up, dropped off like 2 pallets full of food, just when we needed them.
So I'm just loosening. We are Vacant to Vegetables. It's a grassroots organization. We started a garden, and the idea was all the vegetables that we grew, we would donate here to the People's Resource Center. And then a couple of us all have big sort of cooking histories and decided that we would teach people who use the People's Resource Center how to use the vegetables. So in the summertime, most of our lessons are based on the vegetables that we grow. But in the winter, we've sort of just changed it into affordable, small amounts of ingredients but healthy meals. The health aspect is looking at how obese people are, and because of things like fast food, and people think that that's the more affordable way to go, and so we've tried to show that, you know, you can make an egg sandwich that's better than fast food and cheaper than fast food, and it's not that difficult to make, and it's stuff that you can get either here or from the grocery store.
Protein repairs your muscles.
Healthy choices are really important for everyone in this country. The education on nutrition and health is really, really lacking. I think People's Resource Center is, without a doubt, the best staffed, best organized, and just a fantastic place.
Last year I lost my house. We're basically living day to day. And so I started to come to the food pantry. And then they gave me help with work, with computers, with resumes, and the food, of course. And then I found about the food demonstrations too. And to me it's embarrassing because where I came from and where I am now, but they treat you so wonderfully here. They treat you like a human. They don't look down on you. I can't explain how nice it is.
It is about dignity. It's no one's looking down on anyone. Everyone has a lot to share.
The PRC has always been an incubator. The PADS program incubated out, and as a matter of fact, I worked on the grant for the PADS program. The medical clinic, when we started working with prenatal women, basically we had professional help here at the center, but then they would show up at the emergency room at the local major hospital, which got the obstetricians quite concerned because they did not know these people. So again, I got a call from Dorothy at 10 o'clock at night, said, I'm meeting with the obstetricians tomorrow. We walked in the room and there was a lot of yelling and screaming, and Dorothy started out with, how can I help you with your problem? And they said, our problem, you're the problem. And of course, in inimitable Dorothy fashion, in 10 minutes she had several of them signed up to be volunteers at the clinic so that they could provide a continuity of care.
We went to the People Resource Center. When we found out they give out computers and we get our first computer for our kids, I started going to the classes like 1.5 years ago. I met Ratindra Das, who is the teacher, and I was amazed how he paints and he creates art. And I started painting and like going out of my box. Every class is like a gift for me.
I just try to share my experience that I know, that what I have done. You may have all the food and shelter, but in everyone's life there should be a little room for art. Get involved. No matter whether you're a student or you're teaching or helping anyway, I think everyone can share what they know with others.
I don't think people really understand how art feeds the brain, the spirit, and everything. And it's always one of the first programs that's cut. And I would just like to see more of that offered to people who never have this chance.
DuPage County has changed a lot since we began back in 1975. We want to make certain that we are focused on the current needs of our neighbors today and finding creative and innovative ways to engage the community to make a difference.
I love to do jewelry, I love to create, I love the colors, the mixing colors. They help us in every step, learning how to do it, and then selling, and then making the business cards, and everything. In every step they were with us. That helps a lot for our economy. We start being part of these sales that they organize. We really start to feel like our work has a value, and we love that. I want to say thank you to the People Resource Center for giving this opportunity to many people. Thanks to all the people that make that possible. That's amazing for the community.
If you can use a paradox, there's a humble pride that we have. We meet here in the People's Resource Center every week, and we realize that it is from the work that we did that this place is going, and the many different programs that we have exist. But the humility comes by just looking at the number of people who are coming through that door. There is need, and unfortunately it seems to be growing. The population of DuPage County has grown to just about 1 million, and I've heard various statistics about the numbers in poverty, but regardless of the statistics, we know by the people, the individual people who come here, that the poverty still is here, and it seems like it's actually, the poverty is getting worse.
My name is Joanne Carr. I go to St. Michael's Church here in Wheaton. Our church is quite involved with People's Resource Center. Our faith teaches us that we should serve others, and this is a wonderful way to serve many, many people.
Yeah, it is gratifying to see so many different entities coming together, like you say, individuals, groups here at school, and then businesses, corporations. Within our St. Michael community, as much as PRC may be a gift to the clients, I think PRC is really a gift to all of us who are looking for ways to live out the Christian calling, because they give us a means and a vehicle that we can live out that calling a lot that we're all called to.
Pete Scarpelli and Ed Schweibens. We're going to Target stores and picking up food and perishable items to bring back to the PRC.
I think it's a good way of helping people who need help.
They generously give us damaged goods and goods that are coming near the end of their expiration date, so that we can then pass them on to somebody else.
And you're amazed at how the cooperation is between some corporations and the PRC. And there's such giving people out there.
I think St. Michael's is very generous for all that they do for People's Resource Center. And whoever thought of People's Resource Center, in my opinion, is genius.
If you're really interested in getting involved with your community and really making a difference in this world, this is a good opportunity to get your church involved.
From its earliest inception, the People's Resource Center was intended to cover all of DuPage County, and it was intended to be both non-political and non-religious. It was going to be for anyone. As it developed, the People's Resource Center began to expand.
Home for Good is our campaign to bring a permanent home to our Westmont People's Resource Center location. In 2008, we began leasing a 4,500 square foot facility, served about 300 families during that first year. Shortly after the economic crisis back in 2008, we saw our numbers just begin to really skyrocket. And since then, we've actually more than tripled our numbers of individuals and families served each month. We're finding ourselves inhibited by the amount of space, or rather the lack of space that we've got, so that really when one of our services is happening, it makes it very difficult to offer other services at the same time.
Hi, my name is Amka Kumar, and I actually volunteer here at the People's Resource Center. We definitely need more space, and after a while, with the clients walking around, they start getting stuck, and it's just like a little traffic jam.
There's definitely not enough space here. They need a lot more space. It is packed, and if they had more space, there would be more volume for people to come in.
There are hungry people, and it should be our responsibility to help our brothers and sisters.
I lost everything. However, the food was one of the first and foremost things that I could receive.
Having two little kids, being able to get extra diapers or wipes or formula or food, it really helps out with your monthly budget.
Thank you very much for everything, you guys, with all the donations that you donate.
The empowerment programs are what we need a bigger facility for. You can either teach a person to fish or you can give them a fish. Through our empowerment programs, we're doing that teaching. The future is almost unlimited as what we can do with more space.
We have absolutely just grown out of this space. We're serving almost 1,000 families a month, and we need to be able to meet the demand that's now coming.
Sometimes every room will be full, and sometimes we don't have a confidential space to meet with clients.
They need to be absolutely honest with us so that we can help them frame how to say certain things in interviews. And they're looking over their shoulder because there's another job coach and client that's in the same room at the same time. And this will give us an opportunity to have space so that our clients can speak freely.
There's really not enough room. Even people, when they come, clients come, they are really standing on each other's toes.
We store our racks on a weekly basis into 2 rooms. Every week we unstore them to set up for the clothes closet.
If we had more space, like hopefully we'll have more space, then we'd be able to support people more during the shopping process.
Parking's a problem. We need to solve that. We need more space for offices and just general food distribution.
Making a purchase for People's Resource Center is something that's feasible for us to do because we've got great relationships with folks who want to see us remain in the community for a very long time and want to make sure that they can support what we're trying to do.
Westmont has 17% of our population under the poverty level. We can't forget about them. We have to reach out and make sure that we provide services for them. And I think the People's Resource Center is a prime example of that.
Just looking at that Westmont facility, day one, I think it was pretty packed. It was busy, people seemed to be on top of each other, and I think this allows them to expand their programs.
I would just like to say thank you to People's Resource Center for choosing Westmont and for remaining in Westmont. It's wonderful for us.
I am very excited about the building. I've had the opportunity to walk through the building and see the building. When you can contrast and compare that building with what PRC has now, it's going to be a true blessing to have the extra space and resources that building's going to provide.
So in this part of the space, I envision us being able to create a warm and welcoming waiting area for our clients to first be greeted by our volunteers and our staff. This large warehouse space will certainly keep some of it warehouse and be able to create our food pantry. And then we'll have dedicated space for each of our programs so that we'll be able to operate a computer training class at the same time as an art class, at the same time as a GED class or a tutoring session is happening, while we've also got volunteer job coaches meeting with clients. Having our own loading dock will allow us to accept those regular deliveries that we'll receive from the Northern Illinois Food Bank, as well as making sure that we've got the ability to continue to receive on a very flexible schedule our food rescue pickups that are happening so often. And so there's a huge opportunity here for us, and we want to be able to capitalize on that, using architecture and space design in ways that will help us to leverage those opportunities.
We're glad you've been with us for this special edition of Sanctuary on the People's Resource Center. Your thoughts and reactions to issues and ideas at the center of life and faith are important to us, and we want to hear from you. Email us at gcbm@ameritech.net, visit our website at gcbm.org, and write to us in care of Sanctuary at the Greater Chicago Broadcast Ministries, 77 West Washington, Chicago, Illinois 60602. That's the Greater Chicago Broadcast Ministries, 77 West Washington, Chicago, Illinois 60602. Thanks for keeping faith with us today on Sanctuary. I'm Lydia Talbot. May peace be with you.